Dude, I'm like so invested into this fight. I've never seen this show before. I'm gonna have to skip if there's spoilers though. What anime is this?
Akudama Drive was the surprise of the season. It's high-octane action with a flash of sci-fi.
I don't think I've seen this before.
Mayhem. The chaos is quite fitting, considering the state of the world in those parts of 2020. It felt like it was yesterday when anime fans were getting dazzled by the action and intensity
This
of
actually looks
anime.
sick. Like futuristic? Okay.
It shines in how it revels in the craziness, and this fight is a shining example of that. The two characters brawl in a game center, blitzing through the place and delivering furious blows to one another. You see a lot of wild moments like structures being thrown and no-holds-barred beatdowns, all in a span of just 2 minutes. The whole thing feels more like a dance where the two are having the time of their lives. Overall, it's a nice fight that more or less captures the essence of what Akudama Drive is. Akudama Drive is no way represented by fights
This actually
alone.
looks
It's
insane.
this kind of frantic action and vintage feel that really helped it stand out among
Bro, why do I feel like this fight probably takes like 5 episodes?
its peers in the fall of 2020.
Like this fight must be so epic
Next
when watching
is
it.
Team RWBY versus Nevermore.
Hey?
Here's something from a new show on the block. It's been a few episodes, and I think that Ice Queendom has generally left a good impression on me. I really love major fights that showcase team dynamics, and this one is an early example of that. As a standalone fight, it's pretty
Interesting.
good. It does a good job of letting the characters play their roles.
Doesn't look like an anime that I would watch,
The
but
team while they're working together, defeating the enemy using their combined strengths. It does feel extra satisfying to see the battle end in their victory. It's quite a nice fight, and it could be a good way to get people to check out Ice Queendom. It could be recent.
interesting. I love seeing like fights when they fight like epic monsters, you know, or like just legendary
bias
monsters.
that made me put this up here, but
Raid
I do
bosses,
think that
shit like
Ice
that.
Queendom has been a satisfying anime version of the popular series so far. It's good to watch as a standalone, but I think it's even better to watch as a fan who can do some comparing and contrasting between the original and this one.
Just
Up
ripped
next,
out
we
his
have
head.
White Cat's Legends Final Fight.
Oh, I saw this. This anime looks very interesting, actually. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like gods.
Yes, it's been a while since I talked about Chinese anime, but we have a great one here. White Cat Legend is a pretty fun and underrated show that aired during the early part of 2020. It unsurprisingly went under the radar like a lot of other non-Japanese shows, but it's got some epic fights like this one right here. For this fight, I just love how smooth and sleek everything looked. The transitions just seem so seamless, and it's quite creative in its approach in animation.
The animation
I also
looks
like
really
the
good though,
pacing
not
of the
gonna lie.
fight, how the characters shift from armed combat to hand and then right back, all while more and more things get added to the fight to keep things from becoming redundant. It may not be the special effects fiesta that studios like
Cool choreography for the
UFO
fights as
Table
well.
may have gotten used
I
to.
love fights that have like melee fights or whatever.
In terms of honest,
martial arts.
effort-filled animation, this one's definitely right up there. A good finale for an underrated show.
Most of the Chinese anime has very dope animation. Whoa! Before you continue, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe. Only about 1% of the people watching these videos are subscribed. Also check out my Twitch and Discord down in the description. Bye!
We then proceed to
Interesting.
Boss versus Bodgy.
This looks so
Talk
cute.
about David versus Goliath.
Oh, is this the ranking of the
We've
kings?
come to know Ranking of Kings as
Yeah.
a story of an underdog rising to the top, but no fight in the series exemplifies that concept as
Bro.
blatantly as this. And it also does a damn good job of showcasing part of why people have come to love Ranking of Kings. Bigger isn't exactly better when you've got someone like Bodgy, whose
Why
claim
so
to
massive?
fame is his amazing speed and agility. The fight itself may not be some insane Sakuga fest, but I really love how it makes the audience feel like they're part of it. The camera angles and movement really
That's so-
capture what it's like to be Bodgy, trying to scale this titanic
Wow.
opponent in order to deliver the finishing blow. It's a fight
I like this point of view, kind of like, you know, if the camera is attached to him, it's just
angles and movement really capture what it's like to be Bodgy,
Really
trying
cool
to scale
point of
this
view.
titanic opponent in order to deliver the finishing blow. It's a fight that takes the audience along for the ride, and I really love how that further enhances what's already been a good fight. Don't let the shortness of this fight, I mean, it's just a little over a minute, fool you, because it's a minute or two of some of the best fight directing we've seen in the past 2 years or so.
okay. That kind of convinced me. Maybe looking
Before
into
reaching
it.
the halfway mark, we take a look at Destiny
They lack in story and
versus
writing.
Orpheus. Takt Op Destiny had a lot of big names behind it, and by the end of it all, it was overall a satisfying ride that gave me more than I asked for in a mobile game anime. The story is straightforward, but it is also enjoyable, and it's mostly due to its presentation. There's just
Mobile game anime? Is this a mobile game?
a joy to be found in playing climactic battles in mobile games, and this fight just embodies that same feeling. The villain attacks are frantic, and the heroes find themselves in a race against time to defeat a seemingly unbeatable foe. Heck, you even get the reviving boss that comes back stronger, only to be beaten by the good guys with renewed resolve. I just like how this ended not with powers, but a good old bare-handed thrashing. If anything, the fight captures the feel of what it's promoting, and for me, that's a job well done. Takt Op Destiny isn't exactly a masterpiece of a show, something to be talked about for years to come, but for what it is, it's a very fun watch, and while it had so many chances to become a disastrous game adaptation that made no sense whatsoever, it rose up and became a show that we can all enjoy.
That's actually pretty cool. If it's an anime made for a game, usually like movies for games and like anime for games, usually they fail, right? I don't know why, but this looks good. Kind of reminds me that we need to finish Honkai Impact animations.
Oh, and if you're enjoying this video so far and somehow aren't subscribed yet, then what are you waiting for? Go hit that subscribe button and make the team's day. It won't take long, and you can even ring the bell to be the next
this guy's
in
got
line
great
for our next
videos.
Video. All right, that's enough of this break. Time to watch more exciting fights. Since we talked about Takt Op already, how about something quite similar in feel? Here's
Vivy
Vivy
versus
with
Hugo.
its astounding Vivy versus Hugo fight.
That looks beautiful, dude. The animation? What the hell?
With its astounding Vivy versus Hugo fight.
Oh my god. Last stream? Yeah, last stream.
If Takt Op is all about the sci-fi girls and the weapons, explosions, and occasional brawling to create a spectacle, Vivy as a series takes its fights in a slightly different direction.
Bro, this looks so
Instead,
cool.
It chooses to wow our eyes with some of the finest fight choreography and camera work you'd get from a show like this, and amongst the many battles the show
Holy,
has
this
to
looks
offer,
insane.
I feel like I want to feature the Vivy versus Hugo fight today. For a show that's as sci-fi as you can get, it's quite a pleasant surprise to see fighters meticulously crafted and choreographed like this. From their fall to the eventual close quarters combat when they land, you get sucked into the action through its excellent use
Dude, I'm like so invested into this fight. I've never seen this show before.
stifled pacing and shots for added impact. There's quite a bit of bullet time
Is she a
going
robot?
on before
What the
having the fight shift to frantic chaos. Overall, I think the Vivy is
I'm
a
like
show
half
that people
human.
get into not because of the action, but when they do get into it, fights like these are nice offers to give the show a little something extra.
This actually looks really cool.
What if you want to find a show with fights as its main feature?
God of High
School
School.
it is then.
Oh yeah, I've heard God of High School is good as well.
Ironically, people have been saying that the people behind God of High School focus too much on the fights to the detriment of everything else. I'm inclined to agree. So when it comes to seeing the encounters between some
I love fights. When it comes to like martial arts and just melee fighting, I'm just...
of the
I love
toughest
that.
tournament competitors, they better not disappoint. Thankfully, Jin versus Devi didn't disappoint in the slightest. This is, in my opinion, a fight that's emblematic of what God of High School has to offer. It's got the old-fashioned brawling, it's got the integration of real-world martial arts into its technique, and it caps everything off with anime powers integrated in its over-the-top stances. Oh, and some great flashbacks to give a chance for some reversal and add some spice to characters in between the moves too. It pretty much is the quintessential style for anime fights that feature a lot of martial arts influence. I liked it back when it was being done in the 90s. I liked it when the style became prominent in the 2000s, and even in the present, it still holds up pretty well. Xuan versus Wrath is next on the list. Remember back when I was talking a lot about Fog Hill? You don't? I guess you need to go back
The art style and the animation looks so much different.
and check the 2020 videos and see how good this thing looks. Fog Hill of 5 Elements is a Chinese anime that spans only 3 episodes.
Yeah, I was gonna say this kind of looks like a
It's
Chinese
pretty
anime.
cool how there are already multiple fights that could be considered Fight of the Year back when it was airing.
What?
It's largely due to how good it looks. The art style may
Yeah, it
seem
looks
simple,
insane.
but it does have a unique flair to it. Something that makes everything look so distinct and memorable. Then the characters start moving and we get treated to some
It's almost like one of those little, you know, the flip books that you have when you open it and you just let the pages flip. This is kind of like what the animation looks
But
like.
it does have a unique
Like
flair
frame
to it.
by
Something
frame.
that makes everything look so distinct
Especially
and
this part
memorable.
here.
Then the characters start moving, and we get treated to some astoundingly smooth animation. I also like the progression in the fight and how it escalates over time. It brings the intensity in a way that you don't see too much even in modern anime. You know the coolest part about this though? Fog Hill is done by a rather small studio, and you can tell that even if there weren't a lot of people involved in this, the people did put their all in this project. It's got animation that can go toe-to-toe with your mappas and such, but with far few resources. These guys were also responsible for White Cat Legend, which released a bit earlier, and you can tell why they haven't lost a beat. In fact, they may have even got better at it.
Yeah, that looks crazy. Oh my god.
Team Rudius versus Orsted shows us what Mushoku Tensei can do with its fights. People don't immediately think of intense fights when they think of Mushoku Tensei. They could think of its influence in the isekai scene. They could think of the controversies. They could even think of how it's probably one of the most complete isekai shows out there with amazing world building. But this fight proves that in the action department, it could hang with the big boys. Fights serve a lot of purposes. Sometimes they serve as the climax of an arc or a way to build character. At times, they just serve to let the animation team flex their might. And at times, they serve to up the ante to build an unstoppable villain like what this one did for Orsted. Even after knowing the result of the fight, the whole sequence was still a joy to watch. With high impact cuts and excellent voice acting as each member of Team Rudius falls, this scene really brought the novel scene to life. While it's not as directly immersive as the Ranking of Kings fight, it still does a pretty good job helping the audience connect with what's happening and the huge pinch Team Rudius is in. This fight did do a lot of things right. It showed our heroes in the most precarious positions they've been in. It showed us how overpowered Orsted is, and it added an extra layer of tension to the whole plot.
Yeah,
Seeing
this looks
Rudius
great
almost
too.
dying was a sight I bet you didn't expect to see now, did you?
What?
To wrap things up, we look at
Jujutsu
Jujutsu
Kaisen?
Kaisen.
I can't watch that. No, I can't watch that. It spoils. It spoils. I can't watch it. I can't. Thank you for watching this video, and also thank you very much to all of my supporters over at Patreon. If you'd like to see these videos earlier, head on to Patreon, and if you want to see more videos, click the videos here for more videos from me.